Hey YouTubes, Dacia Denise here, and I am going to show you really quickly a short spring haul. Just a few items I picked up recently. I'm trying to keep my videos short, so let's get started. First, I have these tiny coffin earrings, which I love. I bought them at this website called Rebel Circus. And let me see if I can take it off and just show you closely. See? And it's got little crosses on them. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. There we go. Yeah, so they're like $8. Really cheap. I'm getting into smaller earrings. So there's those. Next, I'm so happy. I get to wear hats again. Can't put it on because of my scarf, but there's my hat. If you saw my previous video, Vintage Church Lady, this is the hat I wore. I love it. I had an afro for about 15, almost 20 years, so afro and hats together, I couldn't make it work. It's just, no. And hat hair with an afro is not attractive at all. So, I didn't wear hats for a long time, but now that I'm growing my dreads, I get to wear hats again. I bought this at asos.com, ASOS.com, and I like it, and I plan to get another hat in the near future. So there's that. Next, bought this at Amazon, just to keep false eyelashes in so I can use them more than once and they don't get dusty and things like that. Very cheap. I couldn't choose the color, and of course they didn't have black, but purple's good enough for me. And like I said, it wasn't a splurge, just something to keep my used eyelashes in. So there's that. It's got an annoying pink bow, but whatever. Next, another choker. Going crazy with these chokers. But this one is black gems on black leather, so I get a teeny bit of bling without it being too much or overwhelming. I love it a lot, and actually looks great with what I'm wearing today, which is black as always. But I bought it from Ego Driven. It's an Etsy shop, and I like it as well. I'll include links to the hat and to the choker below. So there's that. Almost done. Can you believe it? Now for the books. The classic Grey's Anatomy. My mom was a registered nurse, and I like to draw people. So this is very helpful in getting the proportions correct as for the human body. And plus, I just like weird medical curio stuff. So illustrations. It's a pretty thick book, so of course doctors and other folks in the medical field use this as a reference book, and I like it. Next, it's kind of like Grey's Anatomy, only for mythological creatures, The Resurrectionist, and I think this is an awesome book just for the pictures alone. Let's see. So, for example, you got that illustration. Let me see if I can show you another one real quick. It's just like what you would see in medical books, only with mythological creatures. So, I'm loving this. Even if I don't read it, it's not a novel, but the pictures alone, and it wasn't expensive at all. I think I didn't pay more than $20 for it, so The Resurrectionist, highly recommend. And last but not least, it's a book I'm looking forward to reading by Lena Dowes called What Are You Doing Here? So you can see Black women's life and liberation on heavy metal. Basically, she talks about being one of the few black women in the metal scene, And of course, I can relate. I like heavy metal as well as goth. But sometimes I am the only black person at a goth event. It's getting better. I think with the internet and more people of all races and colors getting into goth and getting into metal. But when I was a young adult in the 90s, I knew they existed, but I never met them, and I rarely saw them. And when I do see black people in the scene, both metal and goth, they tend to be black men, and nothing wrong with that, but I just don't see that many black people in general, especially black women. So, I love it. Goth and metal have no color. It's just the way it is. And, so she describes her experiences in the metal scene. She's a journalist as well. She's written articles on heavy metal and different bands and stuff like that. So I'm excited to read it, and it's warm out now, so in the morning I can read this with a cup of coffee and my electronic cigarette and just chill out. So, can you believe it? We're finished. Just so I don't, blow it here, where I'm going to end this video to keep it short. So that's it for now. TTFN, love and shimmies. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.